You're tuned in to the world of Tom, where you catch all the facts and stay connected with Tom Lane.
Program.
I know a lot of times.
Look at you, you look all cute. Okay.
Welcome to In the World of Tom's Breaking News Thursday. I'm Tom Lane, and today I am sitting with HR intern for the Borgen Project, Mr. Chris Green II. Now, to give you all a quick insight about the organization, according to the Huffington Post, the Borgen Project is an incredible nonprofit organization that is addressing poverty and hunger and working towards ending them. Their mission is that the Borgen Project believes that leaders of the most powerful nation on earth should be doing more to address global poverty. The innovative organization national campaign that is working to make the poverty a focus of U.S. foreign policy. Now, Mr. Green, now that we have been through all of that, how are you doing? And can you give us a little information? That's okay. Can you give us a little information about yourself and the Borgen Project?
Well, thank you for asking. I'm doing fairly well. My name is Christopher Green, and I am a senior at Southeast Missouri State University. I plan on graduating with my bachelor's degree in human resource management here coming up in December of 2020.
In 2020, okay? We about to graduate in like what, 2 months, 3 months? We're about to be done with this. But before he heads out, he does have this wonderful project that he has been blessed to grace and be a part of. So to get more information about the organization, so doesn't corruption in developing nations prevent aid from reaching the most impoverished people?
Absolutely not. That's one of the biggest myths that are out there about foreign aid, actually. The United States government has what is called the Millennium Challenge Corporation that essentially makes sure that any money that is going to a third world country that may have corruption, that may have just a really tainted and toxic political government, that those governments acknowledge any corruption or any groups, any type of just third party that may use that money for things besides helping the citizens of that country. And they do this by making sure that they set standards, by making sure that they utilize different technology for projecting and forecasting to make sure that the money that these countries are getting are actually producing tangible results for, again, those citizens that live in that country.
Okay, and when you are speaking, and just quickly, because I know I'm probably not the only one that just thought about this, but when you're speaking of those countries, what countries are we exactly talking about?
Well, we're looking at countries like those in South America, like Colombia, like Brazil. And then if you go across the Pacific, right? Yeah, if you go across the Pacific, you have our African countries, and I believe two of them, two of the countries that contain the most of the world's impoverished people are the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Excuse me, a couple more other countries like Congo.
Right.
So we can do our research, and we can also go on Google
Absolutely.
And get more information, not just on the Borgen Project, but those countries who are suffering from being impoverished. So to just move forward, is the problem too big to address in any country?
Again, that's one of the biggest myths about foreign aid, about reaching out and helping other countries that are in need. America, we are one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest country that exists on the face of the planet. And
you can't tell.
Well, not with this administration. But one of the things about it is that, we have more than enough to go around. There's not even a reason why poverty should be a thing of existence here in this country. But of course, just like those other countries, it goes back to the governments and the people that are running those governments. It's all about who has the power and what they're willing to do with that power. So no, it's not too big, because if America can step in and intervene in other people's wars, then America can step in and feed people who need to be fed.
That's the word. So when talking about stepping in and stepping up, why should the United States address poverty abroad when we have it here, right here in the United States?
Well, because it's strategic to us. One thing about it is that over the course of the last, we can definitely say the last 50 years anyway, that, well, minus the last 4 years, but before that, the last 50 years, we can say that America has been a major role model, so to speak, to other nations and to other countries as far as being charitable and giving back and helping other people rise up. And so even though we have that issue here, the reason why it's strategic to us is that if we want to be leaders on the world stage, we have to follow by example. And even though these citizens may exist under governments that may oppress them, that may silence them, that may neglect them, when Americans or when American officials and the American government gets involved, when we go into these third world countries, these impoverished communities, the citizens of that nation have already been won, or shall I say, America has already won in the heart and hearts of those citizens and of those people. They know that when they see us, that there's legitimate help coming, that we're like a hero to them. And, you know, even though we can't save everybody, we have more than enough to go around to be able to help at least, God knows, billions of people around the world.
Come on, God. Come on, Jesus.
He will come now.
Okay? Okay? Because that was a whole word, sir. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But how is poverty fault on the grounds? How do we get out there and we put in the work and we try to save these kids? I mean, you know, us kids that have came through high school, we've practiced with UNICEF and donating change and these Christmas boxes that we'll get here and there and send them out to different countries and such. How can we be a part of that and fight it on the grounds?
Well, that's a very great question. And like you said, you know, for years already, we have been taught and trained to become involved. And really, that's the best thing that you can do. Find an organization like this organization, the Borgen Project, and become involved. A lot of people say, well, I can't make the trip over there. I can't afford to go to these countries and, you know, go on missionary trips, or I can't afford to just, you know, send a bunch of money over there at one time. You don't have to send a lot of money at one time. The same way that we are in this political climate and we're coming upon our elections for our government and, you know, all those and things of that nature, you have to use the tools that are available to you. And one of the ways you can do that is one, by talking and voicing your opinions to your congressmen that are on Capitol Hill. Our political leaders are not as hard to gain access to as we would think they are. Like, it's very, very easy actually to get in touch with these people. Now, you may not get in touch with them directly. They may never speak to you directly, but the same way that your one vote has a lot of power and can amplify your voice in this government, being just taking the time to email your congressman, your senators, your representative, and taking the time to call them and leave them a message and let them know, hey, I need you to support this and I need you to support that. One thing that they have been teaching us actually in this internship is to call and email our senators and our representative in the House, and to let them know that, hey, I'm a Borgen Project supporter, and I'm asking for us in Missouri, it's Senator Roy Blunt and Senator Joshua Hawley, and I know here in this area, it's Representative Jason Smith. It's a simple matter to call them and text them and say, hey, I need you guys to support the international affairs budget. And the more that you press the issue, the more it becomes a matter for these people, the more that they take recognition of it and say, hey, I can't ignore it anymore. My constituents want me to care about the issues that they care about. And I feel like, you know, if we're putting these people in positions of power to make decisions for us and to hear our voice and to do something with our voice, then we've got to make sure that we're telling them the right things. We've got to make sure that we're setting their minds to focus on matters that mean something to us. So those are just a couple of ways that you can get involved. And then again, small donations here and there. Only, I think, according to the statistics, it costs about maybe $1, maybe I'll just say $1.75 to $2 for anybody on this planet to live off of on one day. If you send a $5 donation, you could help like 3 people essentially. I hope my math is right, but you can help like 3 people essentially make it through a day. So just imagine that $5 from yourself, that $5 from your children, that $5 from your spouse, from your family members, from your coworkers, your church members, anybody that you know in your community. That money adds up and it enables someone else to survive, not just for today, but for tomorrow as well. It gives a vital lifeline to a child, about 14 million children around the world who go to bed every night with nothing on their stomach. And we see pictures of them, videos, and all of that, and the media throws these things at us, not necessarily, I don't believe, to, make us feel bad and guilty, but to show and bring awareness of the fact that, hey, these kids' stomachs, they're not swollen because they're eating good like the rest of us. No, it's called acute malnutrition. And what's happening is that because they're having to, especially in that critical stage between the ages of 1 and 5, and that age range, what's happening is that those children, they have no other choice if they want to survive through the night to drink from a dirty pond, to eat food that may be in the garbage, to find insects and things that may just not be the best for them, but they're doing what they can to make it by. And it's vital that we use our platform as Americans to make somebody else's voice heard. These people, they have a voice, but they're in a government that will not hear their voice, that refuses to hear their voice. And I think that the more we step in and help these people, that it will give them a voice and actually bring change to their reality.
Yeah, and that is totally real. There's a lot of kids that suffer from not being able to just go to school. They have to depend on going to school and eating. And with coronavirus, I can only imagine how these different nations are suffering just for the simple fact that coronavirus is everywhere. And if it has put children into their homes to learn and get schooling that way, I can only imagine exactly what it's doing to those children that don't, one, have a school, don't have the access to, if they don't have access to clean water, then we know that they lack the access to electricity. So we know they probably don't have laptops and are able to have a pathologist or a translator or a teacher, let alone on the computer to teach them. So I think just stepping up and giving what you can is the best thing that would help bring effective change at this point, in regards to what the world is going through. So saying that, there's more information regarding your project and what you need from your community to better help you and help the Borgen Project.
Well, right now, as an HR intern, we have been tasked with raising a certain amount of money on behalf of the organization and chipping into the overall cost that it takes to get in touch with these, with the legislators, with congressmen, the travel that our advocates, have to. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Ask the question again.
How can your community better support you and better support the Borgen Project?
Well, right now, actually, I'm in the middle of fundraising for the organization. We've been tasked with raising a small amount of $500 for the organization to help out with, getting in touch with legislators and travel for our advocates that go and lobby in Congress and in the House and the Senate and all that kind of stuff. And not only just for their travel, but to also actually give towards the direct cause, sending money to the foreign aid budget, sending money across seas to the various communities that need it. using that money actually, which is very brilliant to me, to fund technological research and development and innovation for the various kinds of mechanics that engineers around the world for free are doing to make life better for these people. I mean, you have devices, there's a one kind of device called a life straw. And essentially it's like about a tube about this big and this long. And what it does is that it's portable, and it allows for people who live in these impoverished nations, they can simply go to any source of water, and as they're drinking it, the straw will actually filter and purify the water for them, so that they're not just drinking ridiculous stuff in the water. So that's something that's enabling people's survival. They have what's called a kite patch, and for 48, it's just a small little patch, and for like 48 hours, it prevents mosquitoes from attacking you. And you know that in our African countries, our African brothers, is exactly malaria and the diseases, the other kind of diseases that the insects carry, the mosquitoes carry, and just, I mean, the annoyance of a period helps, prevent this disease from really just attacking younger children so early on in life. So by helping me with this fundraiser, essentially you are not just helping me, you're helping someone else who cannot help themselves.
And it would definitely be a blessing to be able to bless others. So giving to this project is really important. And we, like I said, we know that not everything is easy right now during the pandemic with everybody's jobs being up in air. So whatever you can give is more than enough. Chris said that you can give $1, $2, $5. Eventually, he will reach this goal. He's not going to leave this position as an HR intern to just leave them high and dry without some type of donation. And so to have his community get behind him and back him and support him would better help him serve the project.
And if you want to support that project, you can find me on Facebook, Christopher Green II. Or if you don't want to get on Facebook, you can donate at Borgen Project /Christopher-Green. And it'll take you to the donation website. And there's an option to either donate electronically, or you can mail your monetary donations into our headquarters in Tacoma, Washington. If you choose to do so electronically online, there's a box that says "on behalf of." Make sure you put your boy's name down there, Christopher Green, so that they know that I am actually putting in the work and the hours to, and especially in our state, to get this money raised and to meet the end goal.
Well, great. So I guess that's it for all the questions that I have. I want to thank each and every one of you who's decided to click on this video and watch the full entirety to really, really take from what we have discussed here. And if you have any questions after this, feel free to contact Chris Green, whether it's Facebook, whether it's through an email. Just feel free to get out there and do your research. And if you have any questions, reach out to him. Also, check out the website, the Borgen Project website, so that way you can just read more in depth. They also have a map. They also have scales to show you the levels of poverty in certain regions of the globe. So just remember that, and your donations, your support is definitely appreciated. And In the World of Time supports the Borgen Project as well, not as long, but as well as Chris Green. So we wish you the best. And I know that it's gonna happen, it's gonna work out, and I believe in you.
Well, thank you very much. I believe in you.
Well, thank you. Well, that's it for In the World of Time. And let's all remember to do what? Speak on it. Y'all have a good day.
My name is Kristen Weber. I'm the founder of the Life Foundation in St. Louis, Missouri, and we are a proud supporter of In the World of Tom.
Every Thursday with Tom Lane.